Well,
Yes.
I'm attracting some watermelon right now.
There you go.
Watermelon is coming my way.
There you have it.
That's the beauty of it. But we own this joint. Let's get it. Let me cue your theme music.
Let's get it.
Slow 30 seconds. Yes, sir.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you for joining us on another installment of Nothing New Under the Sun. This is episode 3. I am your host, T Squared,
And this your man God, baby.
bringing you another episode. This episode is titled The Mirror of Life and How Reality Reflects the Inner World. Um, this is where we bring, you know, scripture, universal law, and timeless wisdom. Not to give you something new, but to remind you of what always been. Because under the sun, there is nothing new, only truth remembered. So, in this episode about how reality reflects the inner world, before we get into that, we're going to recap the last episode that we explored for a little bit, which was the law of resonance. And this principle that says you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So, whatever vibration you're holding, that is what you're going to be attracting to you.
That's it. Yeah, it's resonance is the principle of maintaining both your thought and your desire on a particular experience of I am. If you can focus the possibility and the desire in both your thought and in your heart or your whatever, right? Mind and heart, you can manifest the I am experiences.
Right, right. So it's a clear message that life meets you at the frequency you live at. So if you want something different, don't chase it. Become it. All right, now diving into today's episode. So today we want to go deeper with another universal truth, the law of reflection. And this principle says the outer world is a mirror of your inner world. Life doesn't lie to you, it reflects you. So in cryonics, reality doesn't lie, it only mirrors. In Hermetic teachings, as within, so without, as above, so below. In the Bible, it says in James chapter 1, verse 23 through 24, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Hold on. Let's get the rest of that. It only gave me part. Hold on.
Or do you want the whole thing?
I want the whole thing. We need the whole thing.
You need the whole thing.
We want the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes. As we get that,
And we're gonna do King James version because that's mostly everybody's familiar with. Full verse for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is liketh unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. I know that was a mouthful, but I can read it again. Let me read it again.
Did I lose my man? Wait, I'm over here all producing in the background. I think I lost my man. I was trying to get our joint, but well, we might be having a technical difficulty. Let me check in. Uh, he's the host. I'm the producer, so I'm taking care of the tech back end stuff. Did I lose him? Yeah, no, I'm still in the live room. So yeah, I'm still in the studio. Staying with us as we go through a little transition. Let me put on some theme music for y'all. All right, just in case. Let's go back to some meditative music. Get a little bit of that. Enjoy some of that. I will share screen. Entire screen. Let's do that. All right, you can get some of that. Peep that out. Oh, my phone is up there. I need to open this. Yes. Yes. Today is yes. Okay.
All right, I'm back now.
There we go. Okay.
I'm back
Everything
now.
is unfolded.
I think the Bible is just taking up too much on my system right now. We gonna
It's
get
cool.
that.
I got you. You want me to
We're gonna-
pull it up or you got it?
we good. We got it.
Okay.
I had to close that out, but yeah. In other words, picking up from where we were left off, when you look at your life, your relationships, your patterns, your results, you're just looking at your reflection. Now I know that's something that's hard to kind of accept and digest because we're used to putting responsibility on other things outside of ourselves. But it's not punishment and it's not a random chance. It's just feedback of what you've been putting out as a vibration into the collective.
I'm gonna hide
So
behind the
breaking it
screen.
down, as far as the mirror principle, right? You think about a mirror, it doesn't argue with you in any capacity. It doesn't lie to you. If you smile, it smiles. If you frown, it frowns.
But even
Your
so,
outer world works the same way. Good.
no, well, so that power, that realization, right? The mirror principle. If you smile, if you smile, it smiles. It's all dependent on you. But if you don't like what you don't see, that's an internal thing, right? Like if you're
Still.
if you, it is based on your thoughts and feelings about yourself. Literally, the there's no one else in the room. There's nothing else with you. So when the mirror principle of the control, the influence that you and your own awareness have to influence what you see. is so
Mm-hmm.
reflective, right? And that word choice. But because the mirror, right, it only smiles. It smiles if you smile. It frowns if you frown. It's ugly if you say it's ugly. So you have all, like, you
That's it.
literally have the choice and the influence in the moment to change whatever's in the mirror, but you have to change it internally. That's the only way you can change it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful
Right. So
thing.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's happening on the inside or what someone says to you, because ultimately, whatever they said depends on how you feel about it.
On the end, like it's
Whatever's going on only ever depends about how you feel about it.
if you don't feel or think that way about yourself, like, what are you talking about, bro?
It
What are
shouldn't
you
bother
even
you.
what are you even saying? That's nowhere near,
Hmm.
because that wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't even entertain thoughts about of me that, but that it's you literally comes down to how you think and feel about yourself at all times. That's the connection.
Right.
Go ahead.
Because a lot of us think that there's a lot of things that we're fighting against, and these demons and devils, and yeah, we could slap some labels on it, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, it's what you think and feel about everything that you have taken in information wise, whatever you've received in, how you feel about it, whatever you're putting out. It's just
That's
being reflected back. So the biblical parable connection, because Jesus, he often used seeds in parables. So like the seed is the inner world, and the harvest is the reflection, the manifestation of those seeds that were planted in the inner world, that you are worthy, that you are capable, that you can, you will, those things, those seeds. What you plant in thought, word, and deed eventually shows up in your field of vision, your field of perception, your
your field of
reality.
creation. Yes.
It shows up in your field. So you have to start to become a little bit more wise and careful what we think about. Because if you don't want it, you might want to spend some time thinking about something else, something that feels better than what you're feeling about it and how you're perceiving it at that moment. So as far as the identity check, if you don't like what you see, don't break the mirror. Okay. Calm down, hold up. Don't 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 crash out. Change the reflection by changing what's inside. Okay. Ain't gotta crash out, ain't gotta break nothing. Just the habit of what we're thinking. That's all we gotta break if you want to break anything. You don't have to cause any physical destruction to the outside world. Were you about to say something?
No. I'm trying to switch up my I just interrupted you. Uh um, yes, I didn't want my phone interrupted the visual. So I'm back here producing. So whenever I'm listening to you and I'm back here producing as
Yeah.
well, it's just trying. You see, I just moved the logo around, like I'm doing some things in terms of I'm
I,
trying to make sure like the back end stuff is going as well too. So my camera, I was just trying to put my phone on do not disturb. In terms of what you just said, right? So in cryonics, we talk about that field of possibility, when that the your reflection, right? The when you are creating that, well, it was a couple of things I was going to say. First, when you said the seed thing, right? For me, that seed of possibility, that MI for all of intelligence, and the just is that's the potential energy. That's the energy that is just that resides within existence to manifest something. Now that energy is directed by thought and desire. Like, so there's space to exist, right? And then there's a possibility in that space to exist as a singular thing, to be self-defined. And you, as a singular possibility, have the ability to define what's possible. But if you cannot see it as a possibility, right? If you if your thoughts and your desires aren't open to that being something that you can do, it will never manifest. And that is the true power, right? And so I was thinking about that, just to see thing. And then I think that was it, right? And then when you say if you don't like what you see, don't try to break the mirror.
Right.
Change the reflection by changing what's inside. Your thoughts and emotions about yourself make up all of your life. If you can look in the mirror and say, I like me, I think I'm beautiful, I think I'm intelligent, I think these are all things you should think about yourself. Not, they don't think I'm intelligent, they don't think I'm capable, they don't. Forget. If you can control your thoughts about you, is it possible for you to be that? And then the authority is to know that if it's possible for any existence, then it's possible for you. And I always make this reference. I know I'm drifting off, but I think about the things that we have done, the accomplishments. I think about flight, right? Flight existed in this plane. We seen it. There were we as conscious beings were able to witness flight, and there were people who, there were those I ams that said flight is possible here. Other people was like, yo, it's impossible. We can't fly. I was like, no, flight is possible in this land of existence. It's possible here. Like the birds, the things around us, are the bugs. There are things that's showing us that flight is possible. Now, all we need to do is figure out how they were able to accomplish that. And we did. If it's possible, so if it's possible to live freely and abundantly, if it's possible to live beautifully and judgment free, it's a possibility for you. You just have to be open to it.
Imagine the possibilities.
Imagine the possibilities.
They're endless.
Right.
Imagine the possibilities.
But so I wanted to, but you're how that goes back to reflection. All right. Think about your life in terms of whatever you don't see manifesting, or whatever you see manifested is because of what you think is possible and not possible for you. You have the current job you have because you don't think it's possible to get ones that pay more. You're gonna say you don't have the degree, you don't have the qualifications or whatever.
Right.
Or it's because you don't really want to do that. But it's all comes down to what you think and feel about you.
And here's the beautiful part about that. And this is one thing we have to understand, because we live in a vibrational reality. And even for this vibrational reality to exist, we know two things must be possible. It has to have balance. So positive and negative was created at the same time. And the same thing takes place with your thought process. So when you know what you don't want, automatically what you do want, you know that too. And it's there. And it has to exist at the same time for it to even be a possibility.
For it to be a possibility.
So you have to navigate your way emotionally over to that possibility.
But the joy is that the only way you even become, most of the time you become aware of the possibility, is birthed through that lack of experience.
And
it's
that's
through
that's
that.
true. That's
Not
and
like
that's,
knowing I don't want this.
Yes, and that's
I
the
don't
beauty
want
of it.
this.
Because
Yes.
once you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So you can begin to shift how you feel about that thing you're thinking about.
1,000%. But the true power is if you can reflect that which you truly do want, that
Stand
state
in
of
that,
being.
and
If
you're
you can
standing in alignment. with
Yeah,
who you truly are.
with who you truly are. Because the reason why, the reason why you recognize that that that's not what you want, because it's not who you truly are. That's why it was so
Mhm.
uncomfortable for you. That's why it
Correct.
caused so much pain. That's why it caused so
Yes.
much suffering, because it's not relative to who you truly are. You were being something different than what you were meant to be. You tried it, it didn't work, but then you stayed longer than you were supposed to. You felt obligated, you felt the duty, you didn't want to hurt them, but you needed to remove yourself from that.
Mhm.
It was time, because
That's it.
it wasn't a part of who you truly are. The things that you
And
do, the,
these are soul urges. Like
mm,
when you understand what we talked about previous, how you are the infinite. And the infinite
mm.
doesn't want anything but good. Although both parts exist. The part of free will choice that we have is to choose which one. So
that That's the point. That's the good. That's the part to
that's the
where
good.
it's when it's your choice. There are things we do. Like I listen, I consider myself to be an enlightened being. There are some things that I love that are debaucherous according to other people's standards. Okay, I enjoy those things. Now, out
That's
of
it.
my free will choice to do those things when I'm aware of the dangers and I do them, like it's like skydiving, right?
Right.
Skydiving is said to
Who
be one of the
who
most
jumps out of
resilient.
a perfectly good plane for fun?
Who jumps out of a perfectly
Right.
good plane for fun, right? People that know the freedom to do that, to have the freedom to make that decision, to live through it. That's the freedom, is that I had the ability to choose, and I chose over fear. That's whether it be but
Beautiful.
those are the time when you make those decisions where people would question out of choice. It's like Jesus said this, right? If you are to follow me, willingly give up. All, like people be like, why are you giving away everything? How you think if you did what Jesus said do, how would you would be received? Like, why would you just give up all of that, quote unquote, for nothing? It wouldn't look normal, but you would be following Christ to the T.
Hmm. Because we have been misled on what is of importance while we're here. There's accumulation of quote unquote material things that have become more important than the growth that your soul requires. And it's going to push you to it. You're never going to get away from it.
Well, so when you that's the funny thing. That's I've found my faith so much more in developing this whatever, right? Cryonics, because forgive them for they know not what they do. When he was like, yo, when you just said it's people like we've been taught or led to believe, right? And focus, whatever it is. There are forces that are intentionally taking our attention away
Hmm.
from that which we know to be true to that which we know to be uh a reflection of truth, right? The physical is only a reflection of the truth, which is your true energetic self, right? All right, so is
That's
they
it.
shifted the focus or whatever, but it's like forgive them for they know not what to do, because as much as you shift in the focus through that is going to birth a suffering, a a dissension that will cause a separation from that which is causing the discomfort, and it will balance back out to be that which is supposed to be.
Correct. And that was, according to the story, that was Jesus' whole point of coming. He didn't come to, he caught to bring division. He came to bring the sword because we lost direction and
Hmm.
connection to our
Hmm.
true origination.
1,000%.
Became attached to these so called things that had manifested.
instead
So
of being the
the
energy
whole
that is.
interpretation that someone's coming to save. No, he laid the foundation. He showed the way. That,
Mhm.
but the
I am
consciousness, that
the way.
energy
Yeah. Detachment.
has always been in you.
Uh,
Now it's just being called forth. It's called forth. Those urges that you have, those uncomfortabilities of being in the places where you are, that it's being called forth. It's in that era. It's in that time. That energetic alignment where it's being called forth.
And it has to be confronted. Because
It
it's
does.
either you gonna be that, adapt. Chalk it. Just chalk it, bro. Like if you like, yo, you keep being miserable in it, it's either you're gonna be that or you're gonna be this. But you can't be miserable in it. Right? That's what we
Can't
coming
you
to.
can't, you
We
can't
coming
have
to that
both.
point in time where, yeah, we coming to that point in time where like, all right, y'all,
You
choose.
can't have
Right?
both. You can't
Are
be
you
miserable
listen?
and want better.
Yeah, what is it gonna be? Or do you want better? All right, then you don't want like you're not miserable. You are transitioning. You don't want this. Let it go. I'm willingly letting go anything that's no longer serving me because I didn't want it.
You know,
So I'm not miserable about it. People
you
are
don't
like, oh,
need to
well, like what
crash
happened
out.
to this? Yeah, what the fuck? I didn't want it. I didn't want it. Well, what's up with that
No need
job?
to no need to crash out.
I didn't want it. That relationship. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really didn't want it.
The one thing the one thing that's also says anything that is removed is always replaced with something better. But you know why it's replaced with something better? Because you started thinking better about yourself and what you wanted. That's why it becomes better.
But I think that I'm
you,
always
you attract better.
I'm
You become
yes. Yes. You will only
you
attract
become in alignment.
but so you will attract more. So people will often think there's some so what happens is people attract better, right? And then better becomes the same because better becomes what you have. It is when this is where the ultimate fulfillment comes is when you become better. When it's not the of it's that I'm going to provide that for myself. So much so that yes, I'm going to continue to attract that more of that to me, but that the perception of it that if an entity of existence comes into my space of existence and it is beneficial or it is a added bonus of support, love, and whatever of light and resonance or whatever, it's a beautiful thing and experience and it can be expanded with. But I will remain the true source of light, movement, motion, love, all of it in my universe. I'm going to remain the primary source of that, and I will only share with those who are willing to share equally, but remain in complete governance of their own power as well. Right? They are aware of their power and they're willing to share. And it's not 50-50. It's what's a necessity to the situation. I will give you more than what I got if you give me more than what you got when you need it. And we've been in those relationships where that feel like when you know that exchange. And I'm the solution to my problem. But if you're not going to help me solve it, get out my way, please. Please. Because I'm not going to live like this. I'm not going to be miserable with the problem I know I can solve. I can do something about it. I know I can do something.
Yeah. Right. That's true. So that's the thing. We have to become comfortable with letting some things go. People, places, things. Like it's okay. We'll be too attached to things. So like how do we work with the law of reflection? So there's some awareness practice for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So each night reflective time. You look back on your day and ask yourself, what did life reflect back to me today?
Mm.
Just take some time. There's a lot of inner reflection and inner work that has to be done in order to change the outside. So we have to shift the input and replace negative self-talk with scriptures or affirmations that align with truth. In that process of reflecting, even if it reflected back to something that you didn't like, you can shift that situation or the self-talk to align with something that you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of something like I'm not enough, you can affirm that, hey, I and my father are one. Like, you're always enough when you understand that, and
Mm.
you always have everything you need when when not believe, because belief is a doubt. When you know and live from that overstanding,
Mm-hmm.
so you can begin to reframe challenges instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this showing me about myself?" You'll begin to see some things that are a little bit differently lined up than what you thought if you reflect inward versus what you see on the outside. So just remember, in this process of awareness practice and shifting input and reframing your challenges, that life isn't against you. Like, it's working in your favor. It's a mirror for you to show you where you are with your manifestations and your desires and things that you hold in your head, where you're limiting yourself, where you're putting too much of yourself. It's going to help you identify all of those things to help you realign with what makes you you. So, in closing of today's show about the mirror principle, because it's not new, nothing here we're doing is new, it's
Nothing new
ancient.
under the sun.
It's written in the Bible, it's in Hermetic law, and in the very structure of the universe that we live in. Your life is a mirror. Your choices are a brush, and God provided the canvas and continues to provide the canvas. So this week, don't fight the reflection. Use it, learn from it, and remember, when you change the inside, the outside must follow. This has been nothing new under the sun. I'm T Squared,
This your man God, baby.
and we're reminding you, God and you are one. The universe and you are one. Remember who you are. Peace.